It's been a great Olympics, but I think the biggest thing I saw, as well as the skiing, has been pretty subpar because the man-made snow out there is not sticking, and it's really becoming really hard. And we've seen top-tier athletes like Michaela Schifrin, who's been knocked out of multiple events that normally she'd be in the podium for every single run.
Yeah, that's the one thing that like I kind of noticed about it is just like it's when you look at where the events are, they're just like placed all over the place, and it's just like it's all man-made snow. Like they don't have any snow like around, which is like rough, which you'd think that they try to make it so that way it would be in a spot where there's more natural snow than man-made snow. Like when you look back, like the winter games that would be like at Lake Tahoe or something like that, or just like in spots where there's actual snow all year round, rather than going to a spot where you have to make artificial snow for these athletes that are used to competing in natural snow. That's such a curve to deal with. And I mean, I'm not even that big of a skier, and telling the difference between skiing on artificial snow or like man-made snow and natural snow is an incredible difference, because it's like ice when you're going on man-made snow. It's like you're zooming through, you don't have a whole lot of grip. It's not even powder, it's just like sheet. It's like not even a sheet of ice either. It's just like a bunch of chips of ice that like you're just kind of gliding over, and it feels a lot different. In man-made snow, it's more of like you're kind of pushing through a little bit, and you're able to get a lot more grip on it too. So I mean, that's the one thing when you look at these athletes who are underperforming, you can blame it on the snow. That when they say that the snow is making a big impact, it's not like they're making an excuse to like kind of like cop out of anything. It's a real thing, and these men and women are really, I would say, struggling with it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with that is, like, especially the steepness with man-made snow is super difficult. It is absolutely super difficult, and I think people don't realize that. Like, obviously, me and Joe have experience with this being from Michigan. We have a couple months of man-made snow before we have the true good stuff.
Yeah, usually around Thanksgiving when they try to push out the start date.
Yeah, exactly. So it can be tough, and the biggest thing about man-made snow that really it doesn't pack together as well. It's really hard to make it just so it gets pressed and compact past the limit of what you'd want to, like with natural snow, where natural snow doesn't necessarily flatten out and push itself out. It stays more compact a lot better. Yeah. And I mean, especially it comes down, it's got a pretty much a thicker volume when it falls, as well as compared to what the guns can rip out for man-made snow. So it can be really tough to really get that line of when that snow gets really packed down, it starts getting slick, just like Joe said with the sheet. So we've seen a lot of that, and especially with that steepness, you're going 80 miles per hour, and you're making a hard 45-degree angle of a cut on that. It gets really hard, and especially with the visibility as well. When I turned on, I think it was the Alpine, and you could not see the rider from the snowfall, and I was like, why are we having this? But they made all the man-made snow for this stuff. It doesn't make that much sense, but I don't know exactly what the plan was. I know they were trying to make the best event possible, but in the end, it's just. I don't want to say it was like a little bit of an underwhelming Olympics, but it kind of has, just because of the amount of big names that have fell out early, and the storyline just not being as great in the United States' favor. And I mean, it's pretty easy to top off that with everything you've seen around the Beijing Olympics. Just, everything just looks okay. The Olympic aura doesn't seem when you got all these huge like industrial plants everywhere in between the giant slalom and stuff. It just doesn't look the same, and it's just really kind of depleting the Olympic experience for the viewer.